Welcome back into another edition of the Morning Breeze. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Excuse me. Oh, God. If you want to continue getting more Chicago Bears coverage after, of course, the Daily Show, you can also tap in with Jordan JC over on the Chicago Bears Breeze. Make sure to go subscribe to the Chicago Bears Breeze over there. Oh, look at content dropping hot and ready. It's coming fast. Hey, yo, I'm seeing it now. Also, make sure Chicago Bulls tip off tonight. Make sure if you are a Bulls fan, you go subscribe and tap in with P-Kid over on the Chicago Bulls Breeze as well. They are keeping you covered with everything Bulls and Bears on those channels, as well as here on the main channel. Let's keep this thing moving along, JC. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boys, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Chicago Bears now have a game where, listen, injury-wise, we keep talking about this is we don't know where this is going to go. It'll be good to see kind of this first injury report today so that we can kind of get a good look at what this team is going to look like heading into the game, especially this banged up secondary. We talked about that yesterday. But let's start it off with you, my guy. Who are your 3 key players to a Chicago Bears victory? Let's start off with player number 1 for you, my guy.
You talked about this part of our defense as a weakness, or the only area of weakness for the defense being stopping the run, right, at certain points. And of course, it's looked different in certain games. You mentioned certain running backs actually having good games where they've kind of gashed us for yards and then they kind of disappear in certain parts of the game. Then you have, the likes of a Kyron Williams who had really good game throughout the entire game. I'm going to go with Andrew Billings as my first important player. I need him to get back to obviously what we know him to be, which is a stopgap. That guy that can just plug the middle, that can really lead this defensive line in making sure we get the push to not create those holes for the running back. Brian Robinson Jr. is a running back who is stout. This is a guy that can pick up good chunk yardage. He's good after the initial contact. And so I feel like if the Commanders, whether or not Jaden plays or not, they're going to be trying to key in on using Brian Robinson Jr. probably a whole lot to impact this game. And so I feel like Billings getting that push up the middle, pressuring the quarterback, pressuring Brian Robinson, allowing him not to kind of get some steam going to get up the middle will kind of stop them dead in their tracks. So I'm looking for him to put his impact on this game.
Listen, Big Bill has been somebody who, even as far as a pass rusher, we've talked about how good he's been this season. He's just somebody who get after the quarterback, make the quarterback make bad decisions. But you mentioned him as a run stuffer. I mean, that's what we knew him as. That's all he's been his whole career. I don't know if there was a change of philosophy on the defensive line. There's been some subtle changes in the position that he's been put in on his Bears defensive line, right, where you kind of look at him as a guy who you weren't expecting him to get snaps at that 3 technique role. You weren't expecting him to get snaps at times off of the edge, right? Like you weren't expecting him to move around the defensive line nearly as much, but he's improved himself to that point. And I do think that is taking you giving you a little bit of a step back as far as a run defense goes. But we kind of talked about this yesterday as well, right? When they lock in this Bears run defense and Andrew Billings being a major part of that, still can be that run stuffer. I love Andrew Billings as a key player. He's somebody who I have been very, very impressed with this season. I mean, it has been shocking how good Andrew Billings has consistently been this season. And I think he's somebody who you can talk about every week, very much like we talk about a Caleb Williams, or we talk about, DJ Moore being important to this game, which leads me to my first key player.
Oh, what you got?
For the bye week. Let's keep the tradition going in Washington. If there's an opportunity to go for a massive game,
like that,
I want DJ Moore to do it.
Like
and
that.
I'm going to tell you this right now. There's not a DB on the other side that can stop DJ Moore. There's not a DB on the rarely a DB on the other side that can stop DJ Moore, but there's not a DB on the other side of this defense that can stop DJ Moore. And I want Caleb Williams to go back and look at the Justin Fields tape from last season. I want him to sit there and watch it, maybe get the ball there a little bit quicker. Want him to sit there and watch it and go, oh, I just got to kind of put the ball in your hands and you will turn this into a 3 touchdown. What was it? 200 or 170?
No, it was over 200 yards.
Was it over 200 yards? Was it DJ Moore?
He had a 3 touchdown, 200 plus yard day. I believe.
Is that a 205 yard day? Let's see. Jesus, 230 yard day. He was 8 for 10, 230 yards, 28 yards per reception, 3 touchdowns on the day that day. Yeah, just go watch that tape. By the way, in his career, he's got 5 touchdowns versus the Commanders. He only has one game where he averaged less than 10 yards per reception versus the Commanders. By the way, most of these with bad quarterbacks. Of course, 230, his most yards ever, but always a catch percentage above 50%. Most of them above 60% on the day. Yeah, he likes killing the Commanders. Keep that up. Just
absolutely
run that back.
Yeah. No, I'm with that. I'm with that all day. I mean, you're talking about what are there to be? St. Just and Emmanuel Forbes, like, those names are known, but I mean, they're not really high praised as far as like stopping or locking down anybody. And the likes of a DJ Moore who already killed them before. Like, let's repeat that tape. Like, I would love for DJ Moore to go off for 200 to 300 yards and kind of continue his chemistry with Caleb.
DJ Moore's going for 300 today.
230. Let's add 70 more. 300 yards strictly to DJ Moore. Best game of all time.
I would love for him to go for 300 yards, dog. Let's just go for the record, dog. What's most receiving yards in a game by a receiver? What is that?
4 touchdowns, all right?
Most receiving yards in a game. 336 yards by, it's still Flipper Anderson. Let's go for the Flipper Anderson record. You got it, dog. You got it.
Let's top Flipper.
See, the tough part about
God dog it.
What we doing, Flipper? No. No, okay.
Not doing anything to Flipper.
All right.
But anyway.
Hey, dog, I said this exact same thing last year. Why are we playing the Commanders so much? We've played the Commanders 3 seasons in a row.
Have we?
Yes.
I remember the year before we played.
Valus fumbled. DJ Moore 230, and we're playing him again this year.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you said Valus fumbled, I remember. Good Lord. PTSD. But no, I understand.
Silver Harvest. That's a solid old joke.
Whatever. Keith Booker was always mad at me. JC. Every time I say something, dang it, 4 minutes into the show, dang it. It's all good. But no, you know what? I love those picks. So I'm going to throw you for a loop for my second key. This is a guy who
now here's a guy.
Huh? What'd you say?
Now here's a guy.
And he's not just a guy. I think he is a hag. Here's a guy. He's a hag.
Oh, I like that.
He's definitely not Nate Davis. He's definitely not a nag. So I'm going with DeAndre Swift. The reason why I'm going with DeAndre Swift is because you got that some people that are not going to be playing on that defensive line for the Washington Commanders. I believe Jonathan Allen is out. I believe Frankie Louvu is not going to be ready for the game. And correct me if I'm wrong with that, but the last time I checked, those 2 players who are impactful are not going to be available for the game. And you've already figured out the best way to use DeAndre Swift these past couple of games. I mean, in the pass game and in the run game, he's had over 50 plus yards in both, for both games. And you love to see it. You're starting to know how to scheme him into the game more. So, get those screens going, the running back screens where you get the offensive lineman and you got Coleman Sheldon screaming down the field, blocking. I want to see more of that.
Get fire, man.
I need to see more of that. I got to see more of it. So I think that
it's so sad. The only thing we feel good about our center about is that he can run down the field. I don't want to do it. I want to block.
He kept up with DeAndre. He kept up with him. Hey, we might talk about how he's lighting the pants, but hey, he's got a little speed on him.
Ah!
So that's my second key. DeAndre Swift, use him early and often. See if you can kind of get him involved in the game early. And if not, obviously, you got Roshan as well with that. But I would love to see Swift go off again.
Yeah, you mentioned a name that I'm going with. I think Swift is going to be vastly important in this game, but I think there's still going to be enough. And the one thing that I've seen out of the Commanders is there's usually a 4 or a 3rd and 4 on the goal line where those are the moments that you kind of look at them and go, all right, maybe they got a little better defense than we thought. But with no Jonathan Allen out there, this should be the Roshan Smith game. This should be the Roshan Johnson, not Roquan Smith. Roshan Johnson game. This should be the game where Roshan is 2 touchdowns in the end zone if he's got an opportunity, because it's a 3rd and 1 or a 2nd and 1 or a 1st and 1 on the goal line, and you're right there, and you just got to punch it in. That's what I think that he's going to be tremendously key. I also think just keeping the defense off balance. The Roshan Johnson for me is a key player as far in very much in the way that we saw him be impactful. Was that 2 games ago, or was that versus the Rams? I think it was versus the Rams. Very much so how we saw him be impactful versus the Rams, right? Where, he wasn't the main focus. He didn't have 400, 500 yards, but when you needed that short yardage moment, when you needed that punch up the middle, there's no Jonathan Allen up the middle now. I need a guy that's going to be able to move people off of their spot. I think Roshan Johnson is that guy. I think that Roshan Johnson is going to be a key piece for me heading into this game, and that's why he's my key number 2.
Hey, man, I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of the tandem of Duggernaut and Roshan at the goal line again. I wouldn't mind it at all.
Duggernaut learned how to take snaps, and now we're perfect. They just snap it right into his hands, and he just runs through people.
Let's go. Yeah, no, I love that. I think both of our running backs will have chances to really put their stamp on this game. All right. My last and final key, I think this is an obvious one. I don't know if you were going to go this route.
Oh,
I'm going to go the cop-out route. I'm going to go the easy route. Obviously, you can see him on the image that Pat so eloquently made about who has to perform.
It's a nice touch, ain't it? It's a nice touch.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like that. I'm going with Caleb Williams. I mean, obviously, Caleb Williams. Oh, no, that guy to the – what are we doing there? What are we doing? All right. You're scratching his helmet. All right. I'm going with Caleb Williams. Obviously, this is why the game was flexed. Even if Jaden Daniels does not show up, even if obviously Jaden Daniels, I don't know what you're doing right now. Are you trying to act like you like the person that's taking a picture of his son,
like a little Eiffel Tower?
In their hands?
Eiffel Tower.
This guy. He's got that ice cream.
No, that's called sleep deprivation, my friend. Let's have a show.
Yeah, that's all good. Caleb Williams is going to, I feel like, put his stamp on this game, whether or not Jaden plays or not. I feel like this is, a statement game for him coming out of the bye week to play a team that everybody obviously has said is one of the top 10 teams in the league. I believe in a lot of different metrics, and so. We've been talking about it, or a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, he's going up against weak competition. He's going up against weak defenses. Well, now's the time to prove yourself. Even though I mentioned that there are going to be a few pivotal pieces out on their line and in the linebacker room, they still have enough where if you play well, then, I would say that this is a good reputation game in a sense. And so continue to do what you've been doing. Be efficient. Pass the ball to your running backs. Get your tight end involved. Look for the big play, but also look for the small play that continues to get your team down the field. Be smart, be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. All of those things. When you need to run. Use your mobility if necessary. So, continue to do all the things that he's been doing. Continue to build off of, the progression that he's made. And let's get out of here with a win.
Yeah. And listen, I don't know if I can say that it's a cop-out answer. I don't know if I can say that that's a, listen, if Caleb Williams doesn't perform, it makes things harder.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. If Caleb Williams isn't the best player on the field on the offensive side of the football, it makes things harder. That's why you drafted him. That's why what he has been over the past couple of weeks. Again, even with some of the injuries that they're dealing with, this is still a better defense than you've been playing over the last few weeks. This is a better defense than what the Rams have been able to put out there. This is a better defense than what the Jaguars or the Panthers have been able to put out there, right?
Yeah.
That Panthers are atrocious. Panthers are terrible, dog. Shout out to Ryan Poles just wiping a franchise off the face of the earth. That's impressive. I don't know if I've seen that before. But honestly, right, like I think for me, the major thing that you take away from what Caleb Williams has to do in this game is go out there and keep being the guy you have been. Right? You've set that standard. Everybody's looking for you. I'm not saying you got to be 300 yards every game, but go out there and be that guy that you drop back, boom, I see the play develops, I get rid of the ball on time, gets into my guys' hands, playmakers go out and make the plays.
Yeah.
Be that guy that you have been consistently in this game, and there's nothing anybody can say to you. Sure, they can come out and go, well, you played the Commanders. The Commanders were banged up. You had this go in your favor. I'm sorry that we're playing teams that are banged up. I didn't set the schedule. If you come out of this game 5-2, which again, I believe you have to. If you come out of this game 5-2, you're still in that playoff race. The playoff race right now, I saw this on Twitter earlier with PFF. We'll probably talk about this a little bit more later on the show, but or later today on the show, I should say. But and now I can't find it. I believe the Bears are 7th in the playoff race right now, as far as the NFC. Your entire NFC North is in the playoff race. I believe 6 right now is the Packers. And again, the only reason that you're 7 right now is because, here it is, the NFC playoff picture. You got the Lions number 1, Commanders are 2 right now. You could change the landscape of this by beating them, taking them to 5-3. Seahawks are 3, Atlanta is 4, Vikings are 5, Packers are 6, Bears are 7. Entire NFC North right now in the playoff picture per 5th. And listen, I just think that when you're having conversations like that, you can't afford to fall behind in this division. First team to misstep, first team to lose 2 divisional games may be out.
That's crazy to think about. It's like if
first
you go on a losing streak, you're out of here already.
Dare I say, first team to lose 2 conference games, you may be out.
That's
like
true.
if the Bears lose today or lose on Sunday and then they lose, either to I mean if you lose to Arizona, you definitely done. But if you lose to the Green Bay, or like if you're the first team to lose 2 divisional games or 2 conference games, you might be done.
And that's the reason why we keep saying that these next 3 games are actually, well, we said the Washington game is definitely a must win because of the race that we're in, because of how tight everything is right now, and knowing that we're in the division that is the best in the league. So I again, you got to go in there and perform. You got to go in there and do the job that everybody thinks you're going to do. Defense has to be the defense that we've been seeing for the last 20 plus games and not giving up as many points. It doesn't matter to me if Jaden Daniels plays or not. Just go out there and dominate and do what you've been doing. And again, whether or not we're playing a fully healthy team or not, you still got to win. A win is a win at the end of the day. A win is a win.
A win is a win. My final key to this game, of course, Caleb Williams is an easy one to go with. But my final key to this game, dare I say, I'm going on this offensive line. Tevin Jenkins.
All right.
I need you to set a tone. I need you to set an aggressive tone. I like what Darnell Wright is doing. Darnell Wright elevated his level of play over the last couple of weeks, and he's kind of becoming that guy that we saw last season that was aggressive. That was putting guys down in the ground. I need that from the other side of this line. I see it from Darnell Wright on one side. Tevin Jenkins, I need you to set the standard on the other side. We know that Braxton Jones doesn't have the ability to do it. Braxton has gotten better over the last week and a half, a couple weeks. I give him the last couple weeks. But to me, there isn't that consistent aggression from that left side of the line, and that's what I want to see. And when I saw it out there when Bill Murray got in the freaking game, I need to see that from my starter. I need to see that from the big guy that's over there all of the time. Give me that aggression. Build this confidence in this offensive line. You're finally starting to get 5 guys that give a rat's what on the line at the same time. I think that plays into what is helping this team become the best version of itself. but you haven't played really great competition on the other side. You're still playing some subpar competition coming into this week, but it's still NFL players. It's still an NFL game. You got to come out. To me, you come out more aggressive. You punch them in the mouth quickly. This game could be over very, very early, especially depending on who's healthy and who's not. But I think that, to me, seeing Tevin Jenkins out there, and the kind of impact you got to make to change the narrative around you right now, now's the time to go do it. And this is the time where it starts building that culture of consistency, not just in the quarterback room, not just in the receiver room, but now you get the opportunity to build that consistency in the wide receiver room.
No, I'm with you on that. I think Tevin Jenkins is a good name because, you want to imitate his attitude on the line. Hopefully he's someone who continue, as he's getting healthy, continue to impact the line and the way they're playing, that dog mentality, that just aggressive mentality. That's what you want to see. And the fact that, he's playing normally right next to Braxton Jones, I need to see more aggression and impact from Braxton Jones. I need to see Braxton Jones understand, hey, I need to meet my guy instead of waiting for him. That's always been my issue with him. And so hopefully that'll rub off on him eventually, we hope, at some point. If it doesn't, oh well. But I would love for Tevin Jenkins to kind of, put his stamp on this line and help out with this game, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for them to get protection for Caleb Williams. With, like I said, people being out, we might see this offensive line do its job well this week. So looking forward to it.
We'll see what ends up happening, man. I see people seeing finally waking up and seeing the D-hop to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah,
news.
we talked about that.
We talked about that, by the way. Over 400 in a check.
Oh.
400. Listen, it's the NFL landscape is changing. It's why the first topic of this show was Ryan Poles will probably be cautiously aggressive. Look, dog, the NFL said we turning it up a notch. Welcome to the Chiefs D-Hop. And I know people are like, D-Hop's done. He's washed. He's hurt. He's finished. D-Hop just got Pat Mahomes.
Did you see Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt back to being Kareem Hunt. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. D-Hop just got Pat Mahomes. That's going to make a bit of a difference. I remember D-Hop would it's gonna make a little bit of a difference. You know what I mean? Hey, he had Will Levis. Now he's got Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. You went from probably the 32nd best quarterback in the league, starting wise, to the first best quarterback in the league.
I love Crimson. Crimson says, "See, Pat, later show equals more viewers. Morning Breeze at 7. It's at 6:30. Crimson, but I'll think about it. 30 minutes is nice." Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to get up out of here. Of course, we will have this up in podcast form, and we will be live later today breaking down more Bears football, maybe even previewing some Bulls basketball. As always, man, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again for Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.
Yeah, I don't know why people think D-Hop is done. You just put him with the best quarterback in the league.
I mean, he didn't have an MCL, but that thing got healed real quick when he heard Pat Mahomes was on the other side.
What?
Mahomes, all of a sudden, you just see a knee brace left as he's running to the airport. We could have drove you, D-Hop.
I'm killing.
We have cars. Hey, hold time. What'd they send back?
I think it was a pick. It was just a pick. A fifth
Wait. Did that say Isaiah Pacheco?
What?
Oh, no. The Chiefs are dealing with the absence of Isaiah Pacheco. I got nervous. Whoa. Wonder if Worthy gets better with another dog next to him. Dog. Yeah.